I got to give them credit. These party conventions are not great TV. They usually are pretty tone deaf about what's going on in the country. But they made one really excellent pick at the Republican National Convention. They chose to have the Covington kid come out and speak. Not some polished politician, not some activist whose name we've known forever. It's that kid who was wearing the MAGA hat at the National Mall. He was right in front of the Lincoln Memorial, and he was just standing there at a pro-life rally. This crazy Native American man comes up, starts banging a drum in his face. A group of black supremacists called the Hebrew Israelites were shouting all sorts of terrible names. And the mainstream media decided to try to ruin this kid's reputation, destroy his life, pounce on him, all of the above. Now, actually, this kid sued CNN. He sued the Washington Post. He sued other news organizations. So far, CNN and the Washington Post have settled because they knew that he was in the right. So the RNC gets Nick Sandmann to start speaking in front of the Lincoln Memorial, where it all started, on the power and the corruption of the mainstream media.
Well, the media portrayed me as an aggressor with a relentless smirk on my face. In reality, the video confirms I was standing with my hands behind my back and an awkward smile on my face that hid two thoughts. One, don't do anything that might further agitate the man banging a drum in my face. And two, I was trying to follow a family friend's advice. Never to do anything to embarrass your family, your school, or your community. Before I knew what was happening, it was over. One of Mr. Phillips' fellow agitators yelled out, "We got him. It's all right here on video. And we won, Grandpa." What I thought was a strange encounter quickly developed into a major news story, complete with video footage. My life changed forever in that one moment. The full war machine of the mainstream media revved up into attack mode. They did so without researching the full video of the incident, without ever investigating Mr. Phillips' motives, or without ever asking me for my side of the story. And do you know why? Because the truth was not important.
Because the truth was not important. This is something we've been saying on this show now for a very long time, but in recent memory over the past few days, which is, it's not that the mainstream media intentionally lie all the time. It's not that the mainstream media want to invert the truth all the time, though sometimes they do. It's that the mainstream media don't care about the truth. They don't care. The truth is completely irrelevant to what the mainstream media do. It's not that they're constant liars, it's that they're cynics. They think the truth doesn't matter. They are there to propagandize for the Democratic Party. And so, are the protests violent or not violent? Doesn't matter. Move the chyron around. Who cares? What makes us look good? Which is the best way to position us? Whoops, sorry, we left that word violent in there. Can't do that. That's what Nick Sandmann saw. And he goes on to make a pretty interesting point there. He says that what we've been seeing all around the country is a media that is pushing anti-Trump, anti-conservative, and anti-Christian narratives. So don't forget, this is a Catholic high school student who was attacked because he was at the March for Life. There's a bit of a Christian element here, too. And I think this was so brilliant. I mean, I think this guy has a lot of political clarity and vision here, which is all of these issues that we're talking about are not just the surface level issues. They go down much deeper. To use the specific example of Wisconsin, this is not just about the shooting of some black man who had a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault and domestic abuse who was reaching into a truck. It's not just about that. Why was it in Wisconsin? Why is it happening right now? Why is this being popularized by the media? Because it has a political angle to it. Because the Democrats and the left believe that this will help them win the election. Same thing with the mail-in ballots. Why is the left suddenly the great champion of the post office and trying to get everybody to mail in their votes? The CDC, Dr. Fauci, all these people say we can vote in person. So why are the Democrats trying to keep people from voting in person? Don't the Democrats want people to vote? No, the Democrats just want people's votes. So the easiest way they can collect people's votes is by having them stay home, mail them in, and then they can implement their corrupt voter fraud schemes that they've implemented many other times in many other places around the country, including recently in New Jersey. It goes down a little bit of a level deeper. You've got to see through the news. And what Sandmann is seeing is it doesn't just stop at the political level. It has a cultural level too, and ultimately it has a religious quality. Because as Henry Edward Cardinal Manning, one of our favorite guys to quote on this show, as he says, at bottom, all human conflict is ultimately theological. I hope you enjoyed that short segment from the Michael Knowles Show. Be sure to check out the full episode linked in the description or download the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.